Footy podcast, where we talk all things footy. If you could hit that free punch combination by liking, subscribing and commenting down below. Thank you very much if you are listening right now, and enjoy the pod. Welcome everyone. Back to it again with another pod. As per usual, I've got my friend with me, Sparks. Say hello, Sparks.
Hello, how are we? Good evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are.
Yep, there it is. Kev, introduce yourself, brother, again.
Hello, people. I'm Kevin, and I'm back for another podcast.
Right then, people. So today, obviously, the first podcast was Group A and Group B. Yesterday we did Group C, which was, and then now today it is Group D, which I'm going to pull up now. Here we have it. So we have Groups D, which consists of Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. So obviously we're going to cover each team, a bit of an analysis from all three of us, get our thoughts on each team and where we can potentially progress and who's going to go through and so on. I'm going to pull up the first one and get Sparks' thoughts on this. So this is the Poland flag, and I've put their two key players being Lewandowski and Wojciech Szczesny. Your thoughts on both of these, Sparks?
Well, we know Wojciech, don't we? Obviously, because he was at Arsenal as well. So, we obviously know of him, and we know he's a bit of a smoker every now and then. But yeah, I mean, he left. I was a bit sad to see him go and stuff, but obviously, Mr. Wenger didn't like his antics as such, and yeah, he's been a Juventus keeper ever since. So performed pretty well, to be fair. So definitely a good player for them, a solid performer. There was the time where it was he was kind of hand in hand with Fabianski, but they both move on, and one's been international stage, and the other, not so much. But there we go.
So badly.
What's that?
You tickled me with Flappy Hands.
Yeah.
Have you never heard that before?
I've never heard of it.
I've not heard that.
Tears in my eyes.
Yeah, right back then it was a big thing that Chesa takes on Fabianski, and then it took to the international stage as well. So it was kind of a bit weird. And both Arsenal keepers or ex-Arsenal keepers at the same time, but decent keeper, yeah.
Do you know what? I was going to say the smoking thing as well, but you've already said it. But then Fabianski just threw me off completely, bro. I think because when Fabianski and Wojciech Szczesny were in the squad, I lived in Australia, so I didn't hear like these things. Kev, you have to give us your thoughts on Szczesny because I'm gone. My head's gone.
Yeah, no, brilliant keeper. I really like him. He's obviously was playing at Arsenal, now he's at Juventus, both big, well-known, good clubs. So he must be doing something right, and he's obviously in the first team in goal for his country. So yeah.
Let's talk of him coming back. By the way,
there is. Yeah, I heard this. What have you heard about it, Sparks?
Well, he was supposedly coming back in as a number 2 to Arsenal, but I think he's going to be ridiculous wages, and I can't really see that happening, to be honest with you.
I think I've seen something today. So obviously, when I researched this and I pulled up his picture and everything, I seen that he was talking about an extension. But he's had a very, very good career, considering when he was at us, he looked promising, but he was poor. Like he made a lot of polemical mistakes and stuff like that.
I wouldn't have said he was poor, to be honest. He was still learning his trade when he was with us, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he wasn't the keeper he is today. But keepers mature, don't they? A lot later than outfield players.
Yeah.
So, you know,
completely agree. He's 34 years old now.
Yeah, but it's still relatively young for a keeper anyway, isn't it?
When would you say they peak, Sparks keepers? Is it around 30 to 35? Would you say?
I would say the peak's around about the 32 mark.
Yeah.
And then, some can hold it, and then others drop off, don't they? I mean, I guess it's it depends on the individual, doesn't it? I mean, they say that you have to be crazy to be a goalkeeper anyway. So, often not far from the truth anyway, is it?
No, of course it's not. One sec. I've got a comment here. Someone's put on here, "Hi, how are you? I support the channels." Hello, mate. How are you? Are you good? Thank you for the support. We appreciate it over here. Make sure you head over to We're the North Bank as well, because this is a joint podcast together. So if you can go head over there too and go support him. But yeah, thank you. If you've got any comments, anyone what's in here, we've got 13 people in here so far. So if there's any comments for us all, then there it is. But shout out to crazy_editor365 for the comment, and he commented on one of my YouTube shorts earlier asking for a shout out. So there you are, mate. There's your shout out. I'm going to move over people to the actual squad. Let me pull this up because I just had the chat up. Sparks, I think it looks a lot better with that just as a full screen. It looks.
It's fine. Yeah.
I think it looks a lot better.
You haven't spoken about Lewandowski.
Oh, I haven't spoken about Robert Lewandowski. No. Robert Lewandowski, yeah.
We don't need to talk about him.
Yeah.
No, he's only a menial player, isn't he?
Exactly.
Not scored any goals.
Yeah. Let me just pull that away. I don't think this season he's had a very good season by the looks of things. He's coming towards the end of his career. What I've been reading about Poland is that they're pulling through some youngsters now to try and push them forward as Robert Lewandowski and even Wojciech Szczesny come towards their end of their careers. What are your thoughts on Robert Lewandowski, Sparks?
I mean, he's been a quality player. Like you say, he's probably on a downward turn now. Probably the same as the likes of Kane, where it's his last big tournament. If he makes another one, I guess it'd be quite fortunate. But he's been a quality player. He's had starts with Munich and Barcelona and such like. But yeah, he's definitely a quality player, and you can't really take anything away from him. I know some people will say he's not a proper striker because he never did it in the Premier League, but as far as I'm concerned, that's absolute nonsense. Yeah. And he's proved his bacon on multiple occasions, including on the international stage. So you can't take anything away from him at all.
No, definitely not. He deserved that Ballon d'Or the COVID season as well, didn't he? But there weren't no Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, he probably could have got it that year, but I don't really know why there wasn't a Ballon d'Or actually.
I think it's because the Bundesliga started a lot earlier than all the. Remember when everyone watched the Bundesliga when it started? It started about a month or a month and a half before the Premier League or any other league came back in. I think it was about 6-7 weeks, if I'm right.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the reason why. But do you remember when he scored them 5 goals? Was it like 13 minutes or something like that? 5 goals.
It was something ridiculous, wasn't it? It was like
Yeah.
It was like a reel that somebody had put together.
Yeah, it was like a compilation.
Just crazy.
Because at one point he was absolutely unreal. I swear one of them goals was an overhead kick, a bicycle kick as well, weren't it? Not like a proper overhead, like it was like a side, like bicycle kick volley kind of thing.
I don't remember it in that much detail, to be honest. I remember them going in like one after the other. I don't remember the actual finishes as such.
Yeah, class player. Kev?
Yeah, brilliant player. He's probably on a bit of a decline now, getting older. But he's going to want to make a difference if it is going to be one of his last tournaments, if not his last tournament internationally. And he's proved time and time again he can score. For Poland, he's got 82 in 150 games. So He's got plenty of goals going in, and I definitely wouldn't count him out regardless of his age this tournament. He can definitely make an impact despite having a tough group.
Sparks, I think you've just seen that, haven't you?
I have just seen that.
I'm gonna pull it up.
You are gonna have to put it up. I mean,
You know what, brother? I'm going to take this award, but I'm going to bring Sparks along for the award because it's the both of us, really. But congrats.
no, it's not. No, you deserve the award. I don't deserve anything.
I think
Much
you
like
deserve
your
that award,
TikTok.
You deserve YouTuber of the Year, and the trophy would be like a huge trophy with your face saying you're the best YouTuber. I appreciate this. I appreciate the support, brother. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's a lovely, lovely thing to say. There is a lot better YouTubers than me, to be fair. But in your eyes, if that's in your eyes, thank you so much, and I'm glad that I'm doing something good and positive. In my eyes, the best YouTuber is Sparks, who's sitting over here. He's my favorite YouTuber, and I'm going to give him the award afterwards.
No.
I'm going to put in a comment saying Sparks is my favorite YouTuber as well. But yeah, I'm not laughing at you. I am very, very grateful. I am. Thank you for saying some nice words, brother. And you're always welcome on my channel with your comments and so on. But another shout out to crazy_editor365. If anyone's watching, go and follow him over on YouTube. And if you plug your TikTok on here, mate, or something like that, I'll shout out your TikTok because of that lovely comment. I'm going to move over to the form guide.
That's thrown you, isn't it?
Yeah, that has thrown me very much so. Let me pull away the comment as well. But I really do appreciate that, mate. Really, really do appreciate it. It's nice to have some love and some support sometimes, mate. Very much so. So Poland's 5 fixtures look very, very healthy. Very, very healthy. 2-1 win over Turkey just before this. A 3-1 win against Ukraine that cannot be laughed about because Ukraine are a very, very good side. And then we all remember when they beat Wales, which I'm going to pull up afterwards. So if we can just kind of not talk about that game until after, because that's my, the one that I'm going to show everyone. Then we've got Poland and Estonia, and then even the last European qualification there, Czech Republic. Czech are a very, very good side. Thank you, Sparks, for pulling that up, bro. Poland and Czech. The Czech is a very, very good side, and it's a lot of people's dark horses. Sparks, your thoughts on that kind of form guide, them results? Anything surprising you in there?
I mean, it surprises me that they don't get the job done before penalties against Wales, to be honest. But yeah. I mean, it wasn't. If I remember the game, I don't think Wales played particularly well either, and still managed to keep a 0-0. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of surprised me a little bit. But as we said before, a win's a win. It doesn't matter how you get there.
I'll pull that one up there so we can see it's there.
Yeah.
Just because you're on the talking of it, there we are. Poland, Wales.
But yeah, a win's a win, isn't it? And all you can do after that fixture is kind of do better the next fixture, and they've won that comfortably. So they're always there or thereabouts. A difficult side to beat, Poland. They really are a difficult side to beat. They've always had some decent players in there, if not outstanding players. But yeah. I don't see. I see they'll get out of the groups comfortably. I would have thought, but that'd be about it. I think.
Yeah. I'm going to put up the form guide again just so we can move over to Kev. There we are. See, I'm a lot quicker with this today, and I'm a lot better with this today, boys. Have you not noticed? You know how I've done it, Sparks? Can you see above where it says Poland, the writing in the blue writing? That's how I'm seeing
what on the graphic. It says Poland labeled, so you can see it when it's minimized.
Oh, right.
So I can see it when it's minimized. I've done it.
I'm paying zero attention.
That's best YouTuber energy.
I'm not graphic monitor, so I don't need to see what it is. You're hosting those guys. So I just kind of sit back and comment.
Literally, all I can see is blue
YouTuber of the year over there. So I just
the YouTube hero.
We just sit here and wait and watch the views roll in for him.
Do you know what's the funny thing? I've even got, so that's in blue. All I can see is the blue writing. So I've got little notes on my phone what I'm looking at where it says blue is Poland. Red is
Right. So whichever colour you colour coded
yeah,
it.
which colour
You're
then I
giving
know
away your
which one it
tricks
is.
now.
I mean, you shouldn't give your secret weapons away.
Oh
No.
mate, this is an awful look at the editing on that is absolutely woeful. I should have just put a big picture of Lewandowski's head cropped on there, and I would have actually clued up what it was. Kev, what are your thoughts on that form guide?
Yeah, do you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. As you say, the draw of Wales. You'd like to think they could get Wales out of there, but it was a big game if it was, the qualifying playoff. So I guess Wales would have come to play. I didn't actually watch that game, so Sparks, like you said, Wales didn't play great. I can't really comment on that, so I'm not sure. It's not a bad run at all. A little interesting one actually, like Estonia game. Matty Cash from Villa, he played for Poland in that game.
Yeah. The English Matty Cash who plays for Poland.
Yeah. He got Polish grandparents on his mother's side, I believe, but not a lot of people would have clicked that.
He's got the most English name there is, Matty Cash.
Yeah, Matthew Stewart Cash.
Yeah, Matthew Stewart Cash. Oh, there you go. This is the best YouTuber, Kev. The most knowledge of both.
The one who doesn't use a channel for anything. Yeah. It's not a bad run. It's not a bad run at all. They've obviously got tougher teams in their group, but there's no reason they can't steal some points.
Yeah, 100%. Are we ready? Oh no, I'll go back over to this graphic here so we can kind of look at the squad. There's a few little surprising names in there. Obviously Sparks, we all know, obviously Jakub Kivior. Jan Bednarek is a good player. Zielinski is a very, very sought out player. Zielinski, because I already made the graphic with the flag in my head knowing that Wojciech Szczesny and Lewandowski would be in there. But once I pulled up the squad and I seen Zielinski, I thought, oh, actually, I should have put him in because he's actually behind Lewandowski. He's their most important player. I think Zielinski in the centre midfield. I don't know where he's playing now, but he was at
Napoli.
Napoli,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Napoli, I believe.
Yeah, because I remember when we were linked with him at Arsenal as well. I think maybe last season or the season before.
Yeah, I think it was season before, wasn't it? Yeah. It was.
Yeah, because it was him and Milinkovic-Savic. We were linked with both of them at the same time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
What are you thinking looking at this squad now, Sparks?
As I said, it's just a solid squad. It's they're no mugs at the end of the day. A decent side, staunch. They're quite solid, quite physical, and they can get the job done. Obviously, you've got Lewandowski up there. It's a reasonable side. I mean, they've always been missing that one exceptional player, I think, in the midfield.
Yeah. That back three is a very, very strong back three, isn't it?
Yeah, I think and Bednarek's Premier League as well, isn't he?
He's Southampton, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he'll be back in the Premier League this season. Yeah, but he played in the Premier League 4 or 5 seasons, I think.
He did play in the Premier League before they got relegated.
Yeah. Looking into it is a better squad than I was kind of thinking. The thing what threw me off, yeah. So like this, I'll tell you the reason why I had to put that writing up the top, boys. Look at that Poland flag. Does that not look like the Netherlands? Up at the top. Can you see it? Where it says 0-0, you've got Wales and you've got the Poland flag. It looks like the Netherlands flag.
Does it?
That looks like the Netherlands badge, does it not? Like the orange like lion kind of thing. Do you see it, Kev?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think theirs is more like a football, but I think the shape of it from a distance, yeah.
Yeah, that's
supposed to be a football on a pedestal, isn't it? And the Netherlands one is a roaring lion, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from there.
Yeah, I can kind of see that the thing's a mouth, but
yeah. When it's in a little small graphic, it looks really similar.
Right,
Kev, your thoughts on this squad, my brother?
Yeah, it is a strong squad. There's another player they take to the Euros that wasn't in this squad, who's a player to look out for as well, called Piatek. Very good. I think he scored about 1 in 3 for Poland on an international level, and this season he's come away with 17 goals in 34 appearances. So he can score goals as well. Yeah. So if you throw him into the team, again, it is just the midfield. Zielinski's a great midfielder, but they are missing, I think, just that one extra really good player. But they've got to make do with what they can. And, the rest of the team's pretty good. The back line's good. The attacking's okay as well. And they've got a good keeper. So,
yeah. What I thought, so did Poland not have, not this, maybe a couple of a Euro or World Cup back, did they not have another midfielder alongside Zielinski? I seem to think they had one, but I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue what the name was, but they had another. There was another good Polish centre midfielder, but I can't really. I don't know if you two remember, but I can't really remember him. I know there was one, but I can't remember exactly who it was.
Not think of the old Arsenal Rosicky, are you?
No, Thomas Rosicky was Czech Republic. Yeah.
No, it's
No.
Anyways, are we happy to move on to the next one? Yeah. So I'll pull up the graphic of the group again for people to see. So then obviously it's Netherlands next, and then I'll move it over to Netherlands. Here we go. So I've checked. There was plenty of players I could kind of choose. I think one of them was pretty obvious what I should choose, which is VVD. And then I'll put Xavi Simons in there as well, because I think Xavi Simons has had a very, very, very good season over for RB Leipzig, and I think VVD is VVD. He's absolutely class. He's majestic. He's a Rolls Royce. He's a Rolls Royce of a centre back, and he's still up there amongst. You'd put him up there with the likes of William Saliba as the best centre backs around. Sparks, what are you thinking with these two as key players? Is there any one you would have had instead?
No, not really. No, I think they're the key stroke star players. They're the standouts, aren't they? You know, at the end of the day, one's obviously the legend end of the scale, and one's the new replacement, the new recruit, if you like. Yeah. So, but I like Simons as well. I'd love to have him in an Arsenal shirt, to be honest with you.
He did it. He taught us a lesson, didn't he? Was it at PSV? Oh no, it was before. Where was he before? And he did.
It was on loan, wasn't he?
It was in the Europa League, weren't it?
Yeah. He was out on loan, wasn't he?
Yeah. Who was it for?
I can't remember who it was now.
No, neither.
But yeah, he's a top player. I'd love to have Simons as a kind of a. He's not really 2-footed, but he can play with both feet. Just tricky little player, and I'd like to have him. VVD is just a bit of a another Rolls Royce defender, isn't he? He can basically do anything. He can pass the balls. I believe he used to play as a striker. He's played as a midfielder and stuff in his time as well. A bit of useless information I kind of picked up from. I don't know if you watch Angry Ginge, but I was watching one of his streams, and he was on one of the football days. And again, I can't remember which day it was. I don't pay that much attention to it, but he said one player that stands out is him. He can just literally just play anywhere, and you know, to be doing that at his stage in his career, and I mean, he's not old, but he's getting there. But to be replicating that at that kind of age. Granted, it wouldn't have been a professional level. It would have been kind of a friendly knockabout sort of thing. But yeah, just credit to him, to be honest. It's I know he sometimes gets a bit of raw deal from opposing fans and such like, but at the end of the day, anybody would love to have him in their side, and anybody that says that they don't want him, then I'm afraid you're lying. You know, you'd have him in a heartbeat. Yeah. So you can question mark Xavi Simons. You can't question mark VVD for me.
Of course. With VVD, I'm going to ask you a quick question, Sparks, just touching on VVD, and I'll come over to you, Kevin, and ask you the same question. Where would you rank him in his prime? Yeah. Would you rank him as the best centre back in the Premier League era? Would you take anyone over him, just overall? Like how good he is with the ball, how strong he is, how much pace he has. Would you put him up there with the best?
Go on, Kev. Go on, you go first.
Yeah. Would you put him up there with the best, Kev?
I think he's one of the best.
Yeah.
I don't know about the absolute best, but he's just so... People don't realise, but he's just so flexible in what he does. He'd be up the pitch for set pieces and corners and get a goal. The way he drives sometimes from the back, and then he runs very comfortably on the ball for someone that looks so big and not as agile as he is. He's big and strong. And, I know we're talking about centre back and defensive, but that's all contributions to the game. And even at the back, he's a nightmare to get past because he's so big and strong. It's quite intimidating for people. And like we mentioned yesterday with Saliba's comment about people being worried to play against him, I can see why, to be honest.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What are you thinking with that question there, Spax? I would put him. I would definitely. I think in 10 years' time, when people look back, they'll say, because normally when they're still playing, you don't kind of think it. It's normally afterwards, once their career's done, that's when you kind of look at it. And I think in 10 years' time, we will look and say, yeah, he was up there with the best. What are you thinking?
I wouldn't say he's again. I'd say he's up there. I wouldn't say that he's necessarily the best.
Yeah.
That's why I said let Kev go first, because I didn't want to be the one that leads it down the garden path. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But he's quality. He's quality, and there is no doubt about that. But I think there's been better or all players on a par with him.
Yeah.
And as much as he's quality, he's helped out massively by his physicality, by his actual size, and other players haven't necessarily had that, but have still had the capabilities to be a top centre back. Now, granted, they're not spreading balls, they're not doing the work to get up the field like VVD does, but a lot of the time he's kind of bypassing the midfield, and it's relied on a winger such as Salah to kind of get on the end of that and carry the ball upfield. So this is a point of, he can play multiple positions, because a centre back shouldn't be playing those balls. Let's be real about it.
No, them big, them long diagonal balls, and they literally stick.
Yeah, that's more a midfielder's job, and a number 6's job to be playing a ball like that.
Yeah.
So I want to be careful what I say here, because utility-wise, he's better than some centre backs.
Yeah.
But in some instances, other centre backs are better than him because they're being centre backs.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
I know it's a bit convoluted kind of way of saying it. So he's like running into a different role, if you like, rather than actually being a centre back, and that's kind of, that adds a bit to him, and it also takes it away from me.
It's them different era of centre backs, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it is. It's like a generation of a centre back, and you would never see. Although Ferdinand did the odd off the cuff kind of ball through like that, he couldn't put it like that, but he didn't need to do. He didn't need to do that because he was being the centre back.
The game's changed, hasn't it?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. 100% back it. 100% back it. I kind of agree with you on that one. Kev, I forgot to ask you about Xavi Simons.
Yeah, he's a quality player. Sometimes, obviously, they can have him playing up right in the wing, and sometimes they can have him on a right mid position, supporting the back. But he's a very dangerous attacker, and he's young as well. He's young, so
he's on loan still, isn't he, from PSG to RB Leipzig? Is that right?
Well, he's gone back, hasn't he? He's gone back. There's apparently a potential for another loan. But I think, or I don't know where the noise is coming from, whether he wants to leave or his agent's just trying to get a new deal, or what. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on. Something is going on with him. Whether he's just pushing for a new deal, or a loan back. So didn't he go to Barcelona? He loaned to Barcelona before that.
No, he started his career in Barcelona.
And then he went to PSG.
Yeah, then he went to PSG. Then he went out on loan too.
Okay. It's a weird old career path, isn't it? The fact that you go there and then end up on loan. But
I swear, Kev, do you know how old he is? I think he's 20, 21 now.
I'm not sure on his exact age, but around about there, yeah. And I mean, to be at big clubs like that in different countries at that age is good experience for him, really.
He was at PSV before before, weren't it? It was PSV, then it was RB Leipzig, PSG, Barcelona. I think that was his career path, and maybe like a Vitesse or something in between that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll move on to the starting 11 with the game of choice I've pulled up. 1 sec, lads. There we go. It's all in order today. Can't believe it, boys. So let me take away the captions quickly, just so we can see the bottom. Give me 1 sec, lads.
I'm just going to put up the other comment for you because you've
Was there another
obviously
comment? Okay. What's this one saying? I can't, because our heads are there. I can't really see it yet. I've got to wait for the. There we go. From the day you get famous, please remember me. Of course I will, bro. Of course I will. I don't think that's going to happen, but
he's
I will.
famous on TikTok already.
Yeah, if you want to go check out my TikTok.
Yeah, BBC Sport. Check out TikTok.
Yeah, go to BBC Sport. I'm in the top 3 for their filters, for their TikTok filters. But yeah, brother, I do appreciate the comments, mate. I really, really do appreciate. I appreciate the support. Whoever supports my channel, Sparks' channel, supports Kev when we come in here. Everyone, we love the support. We really, really, truly do. Even if it's silly comments, not abusive ones, but silly ones, we're still going to listen. We're still going to speak about it. Just while on that subject, to 35 people in here, if you could hit that 3-punch combination by subscribing, liking, and commenting down below. If you're watching on Twitter, drop your comments. If you're watching on YouTube, drop your comments, whether it's for me, whether it's for Kev, whether it's for Sparks. You can ask us any question about anything. It doesn't particularly have to be about Netherlands. It could be about England. It can be about Arsenal. You can just ask us anything you want. You could ask me how my day was. You can ask me if I'm going to be famous like it just was, which I'm not going to be, so there's my answer. But I'm going to move on to this result, people. It's 4-0. And this team here that they played against was Iceland. That's why I've pulled up the result. This was the friendly after the England friendly. So this was their last game. And then we lost 1-0 to Iceland, which the Netherlands went on to beat them 4-0. They've got Verbruggen in goal. They've got Denzel Dumfries. They've got De Vrij. They've got Van Dijk. They've got Nathan Ake. They've got Reinders. They've got Joey Veerman. They've got Xavi Simons. They've got Memphis Depay. They've got Cody Gakpo. And they've got players missing in that starting 11 as well. And I think we can all think of which ones are missing as well. So looking at that, Sparks, it's a great team, isn't it? It's a great, great team.
Yeah, I mean, it's quality side. Yeah, again, I mean, I don't think it's really done itself justice on the European or international stage. I just don't think it's necessarily a bit like England, really. They've never really done, like I said, done themselves justice, and it's a shame, really, because they've had quality sides and then just fallen short.
Yeah.
But yeah, Van Dijk scored as
yeah, I was going to point that out. Yeah, he did. Big Virgil
and Simmons. So you're yeah.
That graphic.
Yeah, and the thing was, people, I've pulled up the flag and put the graphics on. How did we think about that flag, people? Let me know in the comments with the cutout. It's the first time I've ever done it on a flag and put it on.
You know, it reminds me of the Poland badge. That yeah.
I swear Netherlands used to have one when it was just orange. It was an orange lion. It wasn't like that. It was not like that. It wasn't a badge what was orange with white. It used to be just a lion. I think I remember. I'm going to pull it up. I'll find the graphic.
Yeah, both probably exist. So
pardon?
Both probably exist. You know, some teams have multiple different.
They probably have a home and away one.
Crest and a badge, and
yeah, that's a crest. That is. So it's a bit different.
They probably have a home and away one. So the away one's orange.
Yeah, the away one's orange. They got but the other one is orange. But it's just. Oh, I'm tripping.
If they lose, they use the other one.
The orange lion is what I was talking about.
Yeah. What are you thinking about this squad?
Just on a white background.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice. Obviously, Dumfries and De Vrij play together at club football. There's some big names there. There's also big names that aren't there. You know, you've got Wijnaldum that's there. Frimpong. Frimpong's brilliant. He's had like a really good season. Probably not as good as Dumfries, maybe, but it's up for debate. I mean, I think he's got more goal contributions. But Dumfries as a whole, like the way he's been playing his game, just seems to be very, very high in form. They've obviously got De Jong. Memphis Depay's record is just under or just over 1 in every 2 games for Netherlands. So he can score goals. Gakpo's obviously doing well. It's a solid team. It's a very solid team. They've also got De Ligt, the centre back. So there's squad depth there as well. There might be some players that they're not playing here.
Frankie de Jong's out. He's out for the tournament
Right.
now.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the one.
What actually happened to him? Because I saw he was out.
Yeah, I've got no idea what happened to him. I just know that I just seen once I was looking at the squad earlier. I kind of it come up with the news. So where it says the squad, when you come over to it, it had news straight away. Frankie de Jong injured. So I just knew straight away that he was injured, but I don't quite know what the injury is.
Right.
Well, hopefully next tournament you'll have Timber as well.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, Urim Timber. What about Timber? Quinton Timber. I don't know if he's part of the squad. But
I don't think he gets in, does he?
Well. Yeah, I think he's had quite a good season. But this is a friendly, guys. So
yeah,
it might. This ain't the full 11, but there is a couple of players in and around. I'm going to pull their form guide.
So just a quick question for you guys then. Do you think would you play if you were Netherlands? Would you play Dumfries or would you play Frimpong? Maybe both if one of them's on the wing, but they're both quite good on the right. 100%. Frimpong's good, obviously down the right wing, but he's had look at Leverkusen's season.
Frimpong, everyone was saying he's up there as one of the best right backs around at the moment, really, isn't they? Because of the season he's had at Leverkusen undefeated. He hasn't lost a game. He played right back and he hasn't lost a game. So they won
until they played Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly.
But the interesting thing as well is Netherlands sometimes play Frimpong down the right wing because he's kind of a wing back anyway. But
because he played right wing for Celtic at some point as well, weren't it? Because he used to play for Celtic, no?
I'm not sure on that one. I can't confirm that one. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he went from Celtic to them.
Right, yeah.
Or it might have been Rangers. It's Rangers or Celtic. It's one of them. Do you know, Sparks, if he played at Rangers or Celtic?
No.
No? Right, okay, well, I'll have a quick look, people. Let me have a quick look. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, that's where Verge came from, isn't it, Celtic?
Yeah, let me have a look. Let's have a look quickly. Sorry, people, I'm having a look, because otherwise it's going to play. Celtic it was, yeah. Manchester City to Celtic to Bayer Leverkusen.
Right, yeah.
This is his... He's only had... Frimpong's only had 4 appearances for the Netherlands. This season, he's played for Leverkusen, scoring 18 goals. 18 goals from right back.
Incredible.
That's like Grimaldo when we put the Grimaldo graphic on the group.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah, crazy numbers. 18 goals. But yeah, he come over from Celtic. He was at Manchester City for 9 years, from 2010 to 2019. Yeah, and then went over to Celtic. But yeah, this is only his 4th appearance. He's only overall in his international career, he's only had 11 appearances. That's from under 19s to under 21s. So that's kind of like, yeah, it's not a lot. So that's probably why they're playing Dumfries, because I know that Dumfries has had about 50, 60 caps for Netherlands.
Yeah.
So that's probably the
yeah. Dumfries has just kept him out. It's just simple as that. His experience has kept him out. So that's the only explanation.
Because it already is quite an inexperienced squad, isn't it? When you look at it,
yeah.
It's quite an inexperienced. There's some very, very good players in there. Don't get me wrong, but there is an inexperience in that squad. So looking over at their friendlies and then obviously the qualification there, they beat Gibraltar 6-0. I thought that I'm looking at that Scotland result, and that's a very, very good result. They've obviously lost to Germany. They've beaten Canada 4-0, and they're beating Iceland 4-0. 4-0 against Scotland is nothing to be laughed about. It's nothing. I don't think England go and beat Scotland 4-0. I really don't.
You can't use that though, because it's a different kind of game.
Friendlies and that's a bit hard.
They could literally just play to kick 10 bells out of us, and then the next game they can just not turn up.
Yeah, well, we're looking at that. They've scored 4, 8, 12. They've scored 20 goals and conceded 2 in them 5 games. 20 goals to 2. So they've won 3 4-0 victories, 1 6-0 victory, and then lost 1 to Germany. But
yes, the impressive part is that there's 3 4-0s there, and obviously a 6-0. And you put the Scotland result alongside that, then it looks impressive. It as a standalone game for me.
Yeah,
it's not impressive. I mean, the opponents aren't massive. But I mean, I started watching the Netherlands-Iceland game, and then I had to do something. I can't remember what it was. And then by the time I come back, it was finished. So I didn't really watch the actual game. But I would very much doubt that Iceland played the same way against Netherlands as they played against us.
Yeah, I doubt it very much.
And
But then,
that's not saying, oh well, we're better because they had to play a low block. I just can't imagine, because they've done that they play the same way. I'm
well, yeah, that's what
prepared
I'm
to be
gonna put that
corrected on
Iceland.
it if they did.
Yeah, well, we lost to Iceland and then they beat them 3 days later 4-0.
Yes, I know, but what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
that low block tactic where they basically
Yeah, I get
had
what you're saying. Yeah, I do understand.
they basically had 10 men inside the box.
Yeah, and they might have played
Now,
differently. Yeah, I
yeah.
can't.
Now, granted, we didn't show up.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sparks, where would
yeah.
you? So, looking at this Netherlands side, yeah, I think I've
Mm.
seen something you posted something on Twitter earlier. Well, X Twitter, whatever you want to call it. You said about them could be worth backing. Let's not talk about odds because I've already been banned because of odds of TikTok for the lives. But where would you? So obviously, I've said France, Portugal. Would you put them in the top 4?
It's a difficult one because of what's gone before. I wouldn't say they were top 4. I think I'd expect them to come out quarterfinals.
Yeah.
At a push, get to semi-final. That
Yeah.
will be it for me.
But
that's not to say they can't go further, because they've got the squad to go further.
Yeah.
It's often the it's the mentality, isn't it? It's like they seem to get to that point,
Yeah.
and then everything stops.
Let's be realistic here. If just say we got to the semi-finals and we got Netherlands, we'd be happy. Not being like really, really biased, but like we'd be preferring that over a France, wouldn't we? Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I'd prefer Netherlands over France.
I'd still be cautiously
confident
of beating them.
Yeah. I'd be.
Yeah, so I would say like 70-30.
Yeah, it's kind of like if we drew, just say, like the other Euros where we drew Denmark or Switzerland. Like, would you kind of be not? They're a bit better, but they're kind of on that level. If you get what I mean, like the way we would think.
Yeah, I think they're better than that level, but I think it's the block. They seem to hit a wall rather than anything else.
Yeah, and I don't think they'd sit in a low block against us either. So I
No,
think
they wouldn't.
No, so that would suit us very well.
No.
They play in phases normally. They normally play in like 10, 15-minute phases.
Okay. Yeah.
So they can sit back and then they'll go and then they'll sit back. Yeah. That's generally how they play.
And their play is predominantly through Frankie de Jong as well, isn't it? It's through him. He's their main go-getter, playmaker. No, or am I wrong by saying that?
Well, yes and no. I mean, obviously they've got the left back and the right back, and it comes through them as well. Dumfries normally gets up quite.
Because he's been very good, hasn't he, over the past 3 or 4 seasons? Dumfries, yeah. Kev, what are you thinking on that form guide, brother?
It's very good. It is impressive. The amount of goals scored compared to the amount conceded, and it's not like they've been playing Panama and San Marino. Some of these teams are Scotland, for example. Scotland's a good result. Iceland aren't an awful team, don't get me wrong. They're not the standard that they'll probably be playing against in the tournament, but they're a good team, and they're a team that we lost to. The Germany result is, again, it's not a thrashing by Germany, which are a good side.
Yeah.
So it's a nice set of results to come into a tournament with, really.
I'd say over what we've looked at so far, Kev, from A to this is the best set of results we've seen so far.
Yeah, I'd agree. Really.
Would you say that as well, Sparks? That's probably the best set of 4.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely showing the best consistency. Again, the Germany loss is a loss by 1 goal. Yeah. That can happen, can't it? So at the end of the day, it's not a thrashing, especially when you've beaten somebody. You're beating teams 6-0, 4-0.
Do you know what it kind of remind me of? That these results, I'm not just bringing Arsenal into it, but when we went on that run of victories and that, Sparks, when we beat obviously Sheffield United, we were smashing teams 6-4, 5-0, and then we come up against Villa and lost 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for a bad performance, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, consistency is the key, isn't it? I mean, again, the Euros, as much as anything, any team can win it. Really, it's a cup competition at the end of the day. So you've got to get out of those groups, and it's a lottery, isn't it? So at the end of the day, it's survival of the fittest, as they say, and then
Yeah, completely agree.
you score more goals than your opponent, you win. The
Yeah.
most obvious statement ever.
Michael
But-
Owen-esque over here.
Yeah, but it's in a cup competition, it's true.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
not like you know, in a league where you know you're in crisis because you've lost one game.
Yeah.
You lose one game in a cup, you're out. You win the game, you're in the next round. In a league, if you lose it, you can then bounce it back, can't you?
Yeah, of course.
That there is no coming back once you're out of them groups. It's win or you're gone.
Yeah,
And
exactly right.
I think that's kind of the problem that Netherlands seem to have when they get to sort of
Yeah, that territory.
last semi-final ish area.
That's even when they had the likes of Dennis Bergkamp and that as well, wasn't it? They hit semi-finals, weren't it?
Yeah.
With that golden gentleman, they had Ruud Gullit, they had Dennis Bergkamp, they had Giovanni van Bronckhorst.
Yeah, didn't they make the final with Spain?
Yeah. It was 96. No, 96 was the World. Yeah, 96.
Yeah. I can't remember what year it was now.
Because they had Mark Overmars as well.
Yeah, it was after that though.
Was it?
It was more recent than that because there was a kung fu kick in it, wasn't there? There's I'm trying to think what year it was now.
Oh, actually, I do because Ruud van Nistelrooy was playing up top as well during it as well.
Yeah, I think that might be in it.
They had the circle with the numbers as well. That's what I remember. Do you remember they had that kit and they had the circle around their numbers? It kind of like total 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was a night kit, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think that's the last time they got to a semi. It was against Spain. Gone to a final rather.
Yeah, it was the Euro 2000 and it was Italy.
I wanted to say 2000, but I didn't want to look stupid.
You were bang on because I was completely off. I
looked stupid because I didn't come out with it, I guess. But there you go.
Nah, you got it bang on, mate. 96. You were a lot more closer than I was.
Yeah, we can't all be YouTuber of the year, can we?
Yeah, YouTuber of the year. I've got a trophy around here. I'll Tango. Here we go, boys.
Tango.
Yeah, go on. I'm gonna move over. So the big hitters, people. The big hitters. Let me click that. Front. So people may not agree with my key players here. Obviously, they're going to agree with Kylian Mbappe. But I have put William Saliba in there because I believe now that Didier Deschamps is going to play him. Because I've heard him come out of it and speak about it in the last couple of days about William Saliba. And he's having a lot of press coverage over there. They wouldn't be putting him in the limelight if he weren't going to play. Pretty simple. But if he does come in, he is going to be integral to France. Well, whereas Kylian Mbappe, we all know Kylian Mbappe is probably the best player going into this tournament. Sparks.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to say anything about Mbappe really, but you know, kind of speaks for himself. He's just been part of the worst kept secret ever in football in history. I think. You know, he transferred. Well, he transferred 6 months before he transferred, didn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah. So hopefully that hasn't kind of taken too much away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, quality player, and can change a tournament. He can change a whole, you know, can change a game, can change a tournament, can change everything. So certainly not a bad player to have in your side, and holding up the rear, as it were.
Yeah.
You know, if Saliba gets starts, then Saliba's going to do Saliba things.
Exactly. I seen him in that friendly the other day, and he was absolutely mate. You need to watch that little compilation. Jesus Christ, man! Like, he
Well,
makes
he
me
was
think.
he was playing the wrong side as well, wasn't
He
he?
was playing left centre back, and he just
Yeah.
looked. Well, the thing is with Saliba, what I find with him, yeah, I don't know why, but he does it, and I get a little bit nervous about it, knowing that he does it every single time, and he just takes on man, just literally the ball comes to him, and he just looks like he looks like he's not going to pass the ball, and then he just stands there, stands on top of the ball, turns the player, and you're just looking at him like, what is going on here? Like, he's
Yeah,
unreal.
even when you see Gabrielle doing it,
Yeah,
it's kind of a bit more trucky
yeah.
when Gabrielle does it. When Saliba does it, it's almost
You see it live as well because you're there for every game. I'm watching it on the TV. What's it like live seeing William Saliba?
it is mental. It is mental, and sometimes you kind of think, well, there's no way he's getting out of that, and he just does. It's just crazy, and I know that people are gonna say about his positioning and being on the wrong side as I did there, but he can do it. It's so mobile, it's
Yeah,
untrue.
yeah. And what
So
people don't realize how fast he is as well, because he like his strides. He's just like against Haaland. Haaland had 0.01 xg in the last 2 games he's played against William Saliba. He's pocketed him.
you know, what surprises me is when the likes of Rudiger, and
Yeah,
I'm not comparing him to Rudiger, by the way. I'm just basically saying that the likes of Rudiger, he's so quick, but he's quick because of his running style.
yeah.
So he basically all knees up in the air, and
Head
he
fast
just
like that.
he runs like a blooming I don't know, a Trojan horse or whatever it is. It's just a bit weird. But Saliba just seems to get pace from nowhere. He just seems to kind of I
He
don't know,
glides.
just yeah, moonwalk.
Yeah, literally. Like he doesn't
It's a
look
bit
like he's
odd.
sprinting.
What's that?
He doesn't look like he's sprinting.
No,
He looks
no.
like he's just 3/4 pace jog. Like,
When
way.
you actually see him move to start off with, it looks like he's not moving, and then all of a sudden he's just going like the clappers. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, people might think it's biasness putting him in there, but I think if he does, because we're Arsenal fans, we see what he is like every week. And I don't care what people are saying. I don't care if people call me biased. Watch this comment, say I'm biased. Him, William Saliba, last season was the best centre back in the league, and I think in the world. And I'm just.
I think he goes all over Canate. I don't think Canate's got anything on him, to be honest.
Well, think about it, Sparks. And Kev, even you, Kev. If you're a team, yeah, and you can bring in any centre back from around the world for your team for the next 5 years and go, look, you can have this player, 5-year contract, who you taking? I think every single team would take that man.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally just thinking before you asked that question,
Yeah,
especially being English, with us having worries in our defence. I mean,
yeah,
obviously, I know we could talk about Euros and international. If you could have any defender right now, who would it be? And I know we're short of a left back, but it would be Saliba. If you got the choice to take any centre back to play
yeah,
for your country, it's not possible, obviously, but Saliba is the one. Even over VVD, I would take Saliba. I think he's had an incredible season. He's an
yeah.
incredible player, and he's got more time as well than, like Van Dijk. Obviously, he's got a lot of time now.
He's
And
22.
yeah, and I think as the years go on, he's going to be a big name for a long time.
Yeah. The only thing I kind of worry about with William Saliba, as an Arsenal fan, I know we've gone off branch of France. I don't know why in my head I can see him in a Real Madrid top, and it kills me to think it. But Sparks, do you kind of think that way? I think I don't know why he looks like a Real Madrid centre back.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, this is always a problem, isn't it? You get somebody that kind of stems over the pedestal, and they're going to come calling. But the thing is, we just got to win stuff, and if we win stuff, then he'll stay anyway. You know, I don't know if you saw my tweets earlier on, but there was a guy on there and an outer,
Yeah,
basically saying that we can spend the same as Real Madrid and Man City,
no,
and this, that, and the other, and you're just deluded, man.
no.
You know,
We're nowhere near Real Madrid.
they
Sorry.
just to win the league, you're getting 220 million quid.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and as much as coming second, you're getting somewhere near that. you're not taking it over the bar like that, and then to in that same time win a Champions League, win a Premier League again.
Yeah.
You know, it all adds up.
Of course it does. I think William Saliba, his ceiling in that Arsenal, he's got the highest ceiling out of every single player in that team, in our team. And I don't mean that in a weird way, like Bukayo Saka. I think that I think that Saka won't become the best player for his position. Where I think William Saliba already near enough is already there. Where I think Martin Odegaard, he's up there, but he won't be the number one player for that position. I think in 5 years' time, everyone will just say Saliba's the best in the world. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like his ceiling's the highest.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but anybody has the potential to lift their level to that level, but they just need to keep going with things. The thing for me is that everybody has different standards, and whenever you've got another player coming into that conversation, that standard is moved because of tribalism, and nobody is really seen on a level playing field because that playing field is always tarnished by some kind of bias, and we all have it.
What's mad talking about that though? You know, obviously, I know I'm talking about my TikTok again. When I go on lives, I have hundreds of people flooding in, and every one of them, they'll take the mick out of all Arsenal players. But as soon as I mention William Saliba, they all go, "Oh, no, William Saliba's great." Like every single person. I don't know if you see it on your Twitter, but every single person, no one says to me that he ain't one of the best centre backs. Everyone agrees with it. Everyone, and it's mad. Like,
Yeah,
how Van Dijk got close to winning the Ballon d'Or, the first centre back to do it since Cannavaro. I see Saliba doing that. As mad as it sounds.
Yeah, I know. Arteta hates him though, apparently.
Arteta hates him.
Another online agenda.
But do you remember when he was over at Marseille when we loaned him out?
Yeah,
and he pocketed Mbappe, and he won the Player of the Year over in France over Mbappe.
Yeah.
If I remember.
You know, when you look at these two players, right, it's the sort of thing where you look and you think, you know, if you're playing against Mbappe and he's playing down the middle or he's cutting in from the left, Saliba's the man that you want at the back.
Yeah,
and you're looking at Saliba and you're thinking, if that's who you're playing against, Mbappe's the attacker you want running at him. And it's just scary to think they've got a team. You know, I mean, this is just two players of a huge squad that is so deep with amazing players.
Yeah, I'll pull
amazing players.
Yeah, I'll pull them up. Okay, so I've just gone their starting lineup from their last fixture, which they actually drew with Canada. So that was their last fixture. But the last fixture they played with Mike Magnan. I don't know how you say Moynan, Magnan, whatever. Jules Koundé, Upper Meccano. They've got William Saliba. They've got Theo Hernandez. They played N'Golo Kante. I actually watched them play. I watched this game. They played Eduardo Camavinga. They played Griezmann. They played Ousmane Dembele. They played Thuram, obviously, instead of Mbappe. Giroud up front. The only people I can really see changing from that is Kante, which I think a Tchouaméni might come in for him. But Marcus Thuram for Mbappe. But apart from that, it kind of smells like their first team. And the thing is, Mbappe on that left-hand side, it's equally as good. I don't mean he's not, on his day, Ousmane Dembele is up there as well. Ousmane Dembele, I don't know what footed Ousmane Dembele is. He reminds me of Santi Cazorla in that way. I don't know if he's right or left-footed. And Griezmann is on fire. He's on really, really good form. But for Atletico, he's looking like he's back to his kind of old self. You're thinking on that squad, Sparks?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd say with Griezmann is he's 33 now. I didn't realize he was that old, to be honest with you. And I heard somewhere along the grapevine that he had a 15 million release clause, and I was like, we should be all over that, you know, this, that, and the other. And then you realize that he's 33, and you're like, well, that's why the release clause then. But yeah, I mean, if he's still doing it on the stage, then fair play to him. I mean, he seems to be been around forever as well.
Yeah,
Griezmann, doesn't he? But yeah, I mean, Thuram's not a bad backup anyway for Mbappe. yeah, I mean, you got Conte in there. I'm not sure about him still being in and around the squad. I don't know if he got in the final pick of the games of the team, but
Yeah, this was literally 3 days ago. This was.
yeah, okay, so he did get in the final team, but yeah, I don't know how. I did hear that he got some kind of form back, but I haven't seen him play for ages, to be honest.
Yeah.
Another one I'd take from there actually is Kunde. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy with him in an Arsenal shirt, to be honest.
Even Mike Maignan, he's a very, very capable keeper. He's very good. He's up there as one of the best at the moment, I think.
Yeah, another hit and miss for me, but yeah, he's definitely on his day. He's definitely one of the best European keepers.
Yeah. Kev.
Yeah, I mean, Giroud, obviously, his record's better than 1 in every 3. He's probably close to 1 in every 2 for France now. Griezmann's 1 in every 3, although he's getting on.
Is he their leading scorer now, Kev? Do you know?
Who's that? Sorry,
Olivier Giroud. He's a leading scorer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got 57. Yeah, Mbappe's behind with 47.
He didn't play every tournament either, by the way.
No.
He was dropped out of tournaments for the arguing and stuff like that they had where the whole squad was basically switched out. Yeah. So he missed out on 2 tournaments, I believe.
Because Benzema retired because of Olivier Giroud, didn't he?
I'm not sure on that.
That was the excuse.
Yeah.
That's not why he retired.
But that was that's what they kind of put out in the media, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, they're not going to put in the media that Benzema hates Didier Deschamps, is he?
No, of course.
No. Giroud's got the most caps, just in front of Griezmann, I believe. Both at the 130 markish. The squad is absolutely crazy, and you've got to think Mbappe's not even in there. They've got some other good players that they play. Kante's obviously getting older, but he's still a quality player. They've got a right back, Klaus, who's not on the pitch. He's pretty
Klaus,
good. I really like Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus. Did he play for Marseille?
I think so. No, he's in the French league, but I'm not sure where he's playing at.
I think it's RC Lens. Klaus plays for RC Lens. He had a team of the season on FIFA last season. That's what I know.
Right. Yeah. He's quality. Theo Hernandez, by the way, left back. One of the best.
Unbelievable, isn't he?
One of the best, and he can play at centre back as well.
Yeah, his brother's the other centre back. Is the centre back as well, isn't he? Lucas Hernandez.
Yeah, I don't know if Lucas is in the squad this year though, is he?
I think
he got a knock in the run up.
Yeah.
That's what Eric Dyer played against us.
Yeah.
Because Lucas Hernandez Bayern now, no?
Possibly, I'm not sure. I've not seen a lot of his brother. But Teo can play centre back as well. He's better on left back, and I think he's one of the best. Genuinely, he's one of the best out there. They've got just a solid team. The whole team is just. I think they are. It makes me feel good when I see this team and I see their depth and knowing that we are favourites above them. That is.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't
get me wrong.
I mean,
this team's not as good as the one before. I don't think this is better than the World Cup winning team.
Not necessarily, but I mean, if you just look at this on paper, and you see the names that are here and the names that aren't here that are on the bench,
it's mad, isn't it?
It is wild, to think that obviously we are supposedly favourites.
Yeah, how are we favourites? But ahead of that,
no. And then this ain't even their strongest squad.
No. I mean, Upamecano he's a good centre back as well. The whole team is great, and they've got that Kolo Muani.
Pardon?
Kolo Muani as well.
Kolo Muani as well, yeah. I remember looking the other day, and then I've seen on Twitter, I don't know if you've seen it as well, Sparks, they put up 4 French squads, and the 4th one was nearly, like, I looked at it and I was like, this is nearly as good. This would give England a game. The 4th squad. Like they've done one starting 11, another. And I looked at it, I was like, mate, this is an absolute joke.
I don't know what they're putting in their tap water, but we need some of that over here.
Yeah, we definitely need some.
Over here. We need some. I'm going to pull up their form guide, people. We've still got Austria to get to as well.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the form guide quickly.
We're not going to be waxing lyrical about Austria, don't worry.
Nah, we're not. So going into this, it was the 0-0 draw with Canada, 3-0 win against Luxembourg, 3-2 against Chile. France versus Germany, they lost 2-0. Germans have come into this very, very good. Back of some really, really good results until they drew with Ukraine the other night.
Yeah.
But looking at that, they've had some very good results. They've drew with Greece. So on the overall, there's 2 wins, there's 2 draws, and there is 1 loss. Chile, good win, but these are all friendlies, people. Luxembourg, 3-0. There's nothing really that stands out to me here. I think they've just, with France, they always start out slow. They start slow out the traps. Even like just leading up to a tournament. I think you've touched on this as well, Kev. But they start slowly. They'll come out of their group with 6-7 points, and then all of a sudden they just win, and you just can't get past them once they get in a little. It's kind of like Man City, mate. Like, what you can't once they get on that roll, then that's it. You agree, Sparks? The France always starts slow. I don't know if it was you or Kev who said this, but they do tend to start slow.
Yeah, the whole tournaments they build up in tournaments. They start really quite sluggish.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a mentality thing. It really is. It's just they start really slow and they just build up and up and up and up. They just go through the gears.
Yeah, and they're used to it. The thing is, what I've just seen with their squad as well, it's a mixture of young and then coming towards prime and coming out of prime. There's literally the perfect mixture of a group. And I don't think like England don't have that perfect mixture. We have either coming out of career or we have just starting career. There's nothing like kind of in between, like Saka's 22, Jude's 21. It's like there's no like 27, 28-year-olds, if you're kind of grasping what I'm saying, where they've got like Teo Hernandez, they've got all these players, Griezmann. I know Griezmann might be coming towards the end, but he's predominantly his position, the way he plays. He can play honestly 38, 39, 40, Griezmann, because he don't exactly sprint around the pitch, does he? Like, he's not that type of player. So what are you thinking on this form guide here, Sparks?
I mean, the 0-0 against Canada kind of surprises me, but it's
Here's what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is. They don't have their strongest team for a start off, but they tend to do it. They tend to do it in the friendlies running up, and in the group stages they kind of just do enough.
Yeah.
And then they pick up the level and pick up the level and pick up the level. Whereas like the likes of Netherlands, where I was saying before, they kind of go the other way.
Yeah.
So they start in really good form and then kind of level off a little bit. And then they need to try and find that other gear, but they never really seem to manage it recently. Yeah. So it'd be nice to see them turn that around a bit. But yeah, France are always a threat for me. I believe they're second favourites anyway.
Should be first.
They should be first favourites.
I could see. So, like, I completely agree, 100% what you're saying, Sparks. I can see what I can kind of see happening. I can see Netherlands taking a result off them, maybe a draw or a win, and then they still get through. They still finish like second or first, but then they just go on in the group. They just go like this all the way to the final. And before you blink of an eye, they're beating everyone before you even know.
it. The thing is as well, what they sometimes do as well is obviously they've played somebody in the group. They get the same team again that they played in the group, and where they struggled with them before, either got a draw or they lost or whatever, they just go on to destroy them in the next one. It's like the mentality just kind of takes over. They prove a point, and they're just like, well, we're not having that. That's makes a bit of a mockery of it. And let's be real. Mbappe's had a bit of a rest anyway, hasn't he? To be fair,
yeah, definitely, yeah. He hasn't played any of them friendlies, none of them.
Well, not even that. I don't even mean that. I mean the in his club football, he doesn't seem to have been busting a gut.
No, and he was getting brought off a lot as well. He was coming off the 50.
Yeah, well, that's because he's not pulling his weight. He'd already left, hadn't he? So he's kind of you've got that kind of player. So the owners are probably saying you need to play him, but the manager at that point is going, well, he ain't playing, so might as well bring him off.
The thing is with Mbappe as well, you say define a big game player who you'd want to play in a World Cup semi-final or a Euro semi-final. He's the man. I'd take him out of anyone anyone coming into this tournament, if I had a final, I would take him over any single player available.
I
100.
wouldn't. It's rubbish.
Kev, what are you thinking on this form?
Yeah, good form. Again, it's just friendlies. Like, it's hard because they've not part of their first team. Exactly. And that's probably reflecting the results again, that it's not a competitive game. The Germany one, again, it's Germany. You know, it's not a bad result, I wouldn't say. The thing is about this team is they've got so much depth and so many good players that if they weren't slow paced, like you mentioned, and they started, you know, sprinting from the get-go, they've got, you know, if they get any injuries, of course, they've got the subs, they've got the substitutions to rest players and rotate. And I think if they went into this, you know, the group stages, there's only so much you can do. Even if you destroy the group stages, the knockouts are still a different game. But they do have the ability to go in sprinting. It makes me wonder sometimes if that slow start is a tactical second place finish to get an easier seed into the next round. Or maybe they just reserve energy. Maybe they just want to catch people by surprise. Or maybe it just as a squad, it takes them a little while to gel after, you know, playing club football. Yeah. But I mean, no one plays tactically to drop points, do they? But no. You know, it's, you know what I mean?
I think it's exactly what Arsenal tried to do in the league last season.
Yeah,
they literally tried to do what they had to do to win the games, to conserve energy at the end. I'm pretty sure that's what they tried to do, and that's what I can see France doing. I mean, unfortunately for us, we kind of dropped points on that on that kind of run as well. So, you know, at the end of the day, but you can afford to drop points. That's the thing in the group stages. You can afford to drop the points.
Yeah. This is a team. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
That's what I'm saying. It's a group game, a group competition, and then it goes into knockout. So, you know, they're just conserving energy until they get to the knockout stages, and it works.
Yeah. 100%. So this is a team I can see dropping a result to Netherlands. I think this group obviously will be all France and Netherlands. And I think that it might be competitive, but I just see, you know, France and Netherlands really doing a job in this group. And I see this team that might potentially lose to Netherlands because Netherlands, you know, are playing well as well. Or maybe even a draw, but Netherlands finishing above them on goal difference because Netherlands are scoring a lot of goals at the moment. And that leaves France potentially in a better position going into the next stage. Okay, yeah, they may have, you know, a group winner as opposed to a B or maybe even a third place. I can't remember exactly what the seed is for their group. So the way they kind of take their foot off the gas, like you say, maybe they are preserving and maybe, you know, we've done enough for this group, we've done enough for this game. Let's just sit back and not do too much.
Do you know what's kind of a scary thought that I've just thought as well? We've got Trippier at left back. They've got Teo Hernandez. When they want to bring off, just say Saliba or Upamecano, they've got Kanate to come on. We've got Lewis Dunk.
We've got Conte.
We've got Lewis Dunk.
Yeah.
Do you kind of get what I'm like getting at here? Like you've got N'Golo Kante N'Golo Kante doesn't start and they put in Tchouaméni. When Tchouaméni wants to come off, they've got N'Golo Kante to come on. We've got I don't want to put down on England players, but we have Kobe Mainoo. Do you kind of get when we've got Adam Wharton, who's not experienced? They've got some big players. What have won just the Champions League final.
The thing that concerns me that I'll just add on is I feel like in the last few games, Walker seemed a little bit slow and a bit lost. Yeah. And what concerns me is if Mbappe does end up playing out on the left, that is a big concern if we bump into them later in the tournament.
This is why I wanted Ben White, mate.
Yeah. What is your take on Walker?
Mine.
While you just mentioned him, I wanted to mention Maguire anyway, but I didn't. I resisted. But what's your take on Walker right now?
I like Walker. It's just the last couple of games he's not seemed like he used to play. He seems, I don't know if it's an age thing or maybe it's just a form thing and maybe he'll click into it. But at the moment, he doesn't look like certainly not the best Walker I've seen.
But he hasn't necessarily lost pace, has he? It's like he's brain switched off a little bit.
Yeah, he's a bit switched off. That's it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. It doesn't mean I'm not saying he's bad, but you know, he
needs that split second to basically get back on it, and by that time he's got to bust more of a gut.
Yeah.
to get back in position.
Hopefully, it's not complacency because he knows that he's quick, because that can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been a little bit complacent because he's quick anyway, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Just a quick reminder to people, as you can see along the bar on the bottom, hit that 3-punch combo by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We're bringing you content from this group D, and there's 40 people here, and we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. So if you're enjoying it, people, just drop us a like, drop us a comment, just give us a little something, please, people. We're going to move on to Austria here.
and
So,
the channels are in description as well, by the way, so they're easy to link onto. So
yes,
drop
I'm just
onto
going to read
there
them out to you,
and
people. So
pick whichever channel you like, or both of
Yeah,
them, and you know.
both of them. So we've obviously got TikTok, and we've got Twitter, we've got Sparks, we've got me, we've got Kev there. So if you just want to go over and just go check it out, it's on the bar in your own time. Just go and have a little look. So this is who I've pulled up for Austria with their flag. I've pulled up 2 Bayern Munich boys, and there's a few I could have picked from Austria, definitely, and I think there's one what mainly missing. But I just thought it looked good in the graphic with both of them next to each other, so I put it up in the graphic. And it was easy, but no, it ain't really. Conrad, Lema, and Sabitzer. They're the 2 that I predominantly know the best out of this. Obviously, there's Alaba from Austria as well, isn't there? But Conrad Lema, what I've seen of him at Bayern, he was good this season, but it was the seasons before he came into Bayern where he was actually really, really good. So Conrad Lema was very, very good before he came into Bayern, and he's actually he played against us, and he had a very, very good game against us at the Emirates, and then he had a very, very good game when they beat us 1-0, because Arsenal have gone there with the best attack in the Premier League and then not scored against them. So there you have it. But Conrad Lime was very, very good in CDM. He literally he was man-to-man marking Martin Odegaard, and Martin Odegaard didn't score or assist in either of them 2 games. So he did a job. So that's why I've put him there, because I've seen him more than a lot of other people. And then we've got Marcel Sabitzer, and we all know Sabitzer from last season at Man United, but it's the seasons before and even this season now where he's been good. I believe the seasons before, was he at Dortmund? Marcel Sabitzer, he was at Dortmund, and I believe he was getting double figures in both goals and assists in a couple of the seasons over there for Dortmund before he come over to Manchester United, then leaving to go to Bayern Munich. Mouthful. Okay, Sparks, what do you think?
Well, Sabitzer's still on. He's on loan, isn't he, Sabitzer?
No, he plays for. I think he come from loan from Bayern to Man United, and then went back
I
on loan.
thought they still owned him.
To Man United, Kev, do you know?
I'm not entirely sure on that, if I'm honest.
I'll have a quick look.
I think he's on loan. I think he's still a Man United player.
Oh, is it?
But I might be completely up the cuckoo there, but I thought he was.
If he is, that's good news for them, if you ask me.
Say again.
Definitely.
If you ask me, that's good news for them if he is.
He was on from, so obviously he started he was at RB Salzburg. That's where I seen him at RB Leipzig. So when he was at Leipzig, when they were kind of breaking through, they had a good core of players. That's when he was good and he was breaking through. And then he went to Salzburg on loan, then Bayern Munich, then he went to Manchester United on loan, and now he's gone back to Dortmund on a free transfer.
Oh, okay.
Right. Is that recent then, I'm guessing?
Yeah,
he played for Dortmund this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He played for Dortmund this season.
So I thought he played for Dortmund, and when you threw up the Bayern shirt, I thought I was missing something.
No. Yeah, he plays for Dortmund, but it's just
right. Yeah.
I put up a graphic. I just put in Marcel Sabitzer, and obviously we know who he plays for and that. So I just pulled up one that was equal with Conrad Lehmann. It looked nice next to it, kind of thing. Yeah, obviously he plays for Dortmund, but he was at Bayern Munich for 2 years. That's where he went on loan to Manchester United. Then when he come back, he signed on a free transfer for Borussia Dortmund. He scored 4 goals this season for Borussia Dortmund, having 25 apperances when he's had an injury. So
you just screwed with everybody's brain, haven't you?
Yeah, that really.
Yeah.
Freaking BVB. Like, why has he got the?
Yeah. It's when I searched Conrad Lehmann, I searched him, and then there was literally, it had the pictures of him, and then it had Sabitzer the next one along, and I was like, I might as well just use that.
Yeah, thanks for that, mate.
Thanks. Yeah. My brain is fried. Yeah, literally just Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Spark.
I mean, both quality players. As you said, I saw Lima in the Munich game. Apparently, they're a crap side, and everybody should beat them. So but yeah, I think he played a good game in fairness, but I don't necessarily think we were completely at the races and stuff either. So but yeah, a quality player. I've seen more of Sabitzer, to be honest, than Lima. But yeah, when he played at Man United, I thought he was quite decent as well. But I thought they'd signed him. I don't know why I thought that. I thought he was. I thought they'd signed him and then loaned him back out. But obviously they'd loaned him in and then didn't take up the option to buy.
No,
but yeah, I thought he looked. He had a few decent games actually at Man United. I didn't watch all the games, but yeah, I guess he didn't contribute as much in that season as he has done in other seasons. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Kev.
Yeah, Sabitzer, he's had a really good season. I don't know a lot about Lima, if I'm honest. So, but Sabitzer definitely. There's another player for Austria, Arnautovic, and I think he's brilliant. He's another one that I would mention.
We've seen lots of him.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. And even for Austria, considering they're not, probably up there with one of the best teams, he's got quite a good goal scoring record for them as well.
Just to mention, Sabitzer has 78, because I'm obviously still on it, 78 appearances for Austria, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
Carry on,
but Arnautovic has got 112.
Does he?
So, yeah.
Arnautovic has a lot of experience. He's moved over. He's
in Italy.
Yeah, Italy now. Yeah, and he's at, was it Torino or something like that? Is it not?
Internazionale.
Is he still at Inter?
He plays basically with Dumfries and De Vrij.
Yeah, so he's in Inter. Yeah, he's at Inter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move over to the team, the graphic here where it's got the starting 11. I had a complete brain fart.
That serves you right for throwing us on that graphic.
Yeah, the game of choice. So I've actually just forgotten as well. Grilic is their best player. Grilic, number 10. Grilic is their best player, as well as Baumgartner. They both play in Bundesliga as well, people. Yeah. But I didn't put them up. I just put up recognisable names for everyone. Knowing that you two haven't seen the graphic yet, I didn't know whether you're going to know who Grilic and Baumgartner is. But yeah, Baumgartner and Grilic is their two best players. Got Weimar at left back, and obviously you've got Marko Arnautovic up front. But number 90 and number 10 are their playmakers. Big time. Baumgartner is very, very good. I'm pretty sure he's at Hoffenheim. I might be wrong by saying this, but the last time I seen Baumgartner, he was at Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. But yeah, so I pulled up this result because when we looked at this England squad yesterday, the England group, I said how good Serbia's team was, and Austria went and beat them 2-1.
Early goals there as well. Yeah,
that's a very, very good victory. Because that Serbia side's a very strong side, so maybe this Austrian team can't be underestimated. When I've looked at the squad, knowing who Baumgartner is and Grilic as well, and they've got David Alaba as well, haven't they? Austria, and he's being rested. Alaba's a very, very famous name. But it is a very good squad. I don't know. Do you want me just to pull up the form guide, or do you just want to talk about this result?
Yeah, the one thing I would say about Serbia and the kind of staunch low block sides, if you do get an early-ish goal, then they have to change the way they play, and much the same as Iceland when they lost to Netherlands. If you score an early goal, they can't sit back and be on their goal line. So I guess that comes into it, but that's still to get the second goal that early on as well, and then hold out. It's still a decent performance. That.
Yeah, 100%. What are you thinking, Kev?
Yeah, honestly, this Austria is one of the teams I don't know a lot about at all. There's a few big names that I know, but I don't know a lot about them. But a result against Serbia isn't all that bad. What I do know, based purely off a lot of other information and stuff that people say about Austria is that they can be a dark horse. I saw actually a prediction the other day, and someone had one of the finals at France v Scotland, the semi-final. So it's France v Scotland, which I thought was bizarre, but the other one was Germany-Austria.
Yeah.
In the semis, and that was wild. But people have some sort of belief in them, and they can beat teams clearly.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to pull up.
What was that? Getting to the final?
So the semi-final, they had Austria versus Germany, and they had France v Scotland in the other semi. Bizarre, I know.
Put the group up again.
Let me pull it.
France, Netherlands, and Poland.
Netherlands.
They could.
France,
Do you know what?
Austria.
They could take a third place.
Yeah, they
but
could. I think Austria will get through as the best third place team. Definitely.
You think Austria going through is ahead of Poland?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Them two. I think that's a tough one. I genuinely think that's a tough
I'll
one.
gamble with you offline that is not the case.
Okay, let me pull up the form guide first. So that's France's one. Just before we start saying anything, I want to pull it up just in case. Before we start, here we go. That's their form guide, Austria's. Form guide. They drew with Switzerland. They beat Serbia. They beat Turkey 6-1. They beat Slovakia 2-0. And they beat Estonia 2-0. So they've had 5 wins and 1 draw in the last 6 games. What is anything standing out there to you guys? Sparks? The Turkey 6-1 win.
Yeah.
This is why I've seen this run of form, and I thought that's why I've said I think might.
Yeah, but that's. Oh man! I mean, come on! Come on, man!
Let's pull up the Poland squad quickly. And
I mean, I'd like to see what that Turkey side is.
Yeah,
because
I'm just going to put the Poland squad so we can kind of have a look. We can kind of compare both of us. That's the Poland squad. I think it's nice to have a little comparison. So, yeah, you've got Bednarek, you've got Jakub Kiwior-Zielinski,
Frankowski,
yeah,
Bednarek,
and then over on the Austria front, we've got. I'm just trying to compare for myself as well, so I can kind of have a look. Then over
Posh,
here,
didn't Posh play Dortmund? I want to say.
Yeah, something like that. And then so over here we've got Arnautovic, Baumgartner, we've got Grillit, we've got Wimmer, and then we've got David Alaba to come back in as well. So they are quite.
Who does Pence play for? It's in a Serie A side.
Yeah. They've got Austria have got 2 or 3 Serie A players, and then they've got about 5 or 6 Bundesliga players in the Austrian squad. I'll have a look what their rankings are.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I just think looking at the squads that we've looked at, which might not be their first choice Euro squads, the Poland squad looks like there's
their first choice.
More better players. But
yeah, exactly.
But we don't know where the first team's looking. Personally, I don't know what Austria's first team's going to look like for the Euros.
Yeah, I'd still say that the Poland squad is a better quality squad than Austria.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out over the next few weeks, won't we?
Yeah.
That's not part of the fun, Kev, is it?
I did have I do have, so I've done my predictions.
I'll be very surprised if
I have Poland going through.
Austria are ranked 22nd, Poland are ranked 35th. So Austria 13 places higher. So yeah, I'm willing to have a little. We won't talk about.
Is this on the rank? Sorry,
I'm willing to have a little gamble on that. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll bet with you because they did. Yeah.
Can we talk about rankings?
They're quite equal, aren't they? They're not looking at their squads. They're quite equal. That's what I'm not saying. We both probably think different things, and that's the best thing about.
So Jay, were you just looking at the rankings?
Yeah. I was
have you noticed that Germany are like 16th on the rankings?
Yeah. Let me quickly have a pull up.
Because they could just be down rankings because they haven't played as many games.
Right, yeah. And I saw the rankings. I saw Germany 16th, and I thought that is bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't qualify for not the last tournament, the tournament before as well, did they? So they got ranked down for that.
Yeah.
And they got ranked down because of the games they didn't play as well.
I think I just noticed. I think like Turkey were above them.
Well, yeah, actually, but you can get ranked down because another team qualifies and you don't.
Yeah.
So the latest one now, so I've just pulled it up. So just before I just Googled it. And then now it's got Austria at 25th, 25, and Poland at 28.
So yeah, I can understand that. because
Yeah,
you know
very, very tight.
they're very evenly matched
Maybe I
squads.
should have put the world rankings up with this, but I didn't even think.
Is what?
I should have put it up. You know when I put the badge up, I could have put the numbers next to it as their
Yeah,
world
no,
rankings in the corner of the flag or something. But I ain't done it now. But
it's
in
all good. It's
between
all
them,
good.
there's Hungary and Sweden. So you've got Poland, Sweden, Hungary, then Austria. But looking at this, Australia's higher ranked than Austria and Poland, and Wales are one place below
Yeah.
Poland.
Oh, they're not exactly something to go by. Exactly.
Definitely not.
Just quite intriguing. I believe Austria have got a couple of good players, but I do think they're going to finish bottom of this group. I think Poland do come third in
Yeah.
this group personally. Yeah, all my predicts I've done. It's just that's how it's come out for me.
Yeah, I can back that, bro. I can back that 100%. I just think the World Cup, Poland didn't go through, did they? From what I remember, Poland. I think
Yeah,
Poland.
they did, didn't they?
I thought they went through. I remember being surprised by them
Yeah.
going through. I'm not sure if that was the World
Because
Cup.
I seem to remember that
off the top
Austria
of my
went
head.
through as well. Well, they're both. Well, from what we're going
Possibly.
off, they are both
don't-
pretty equal. Like looking at the
They're,
teams.
they're just evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, very. But it's just because I know of that Baumgartner and that Grillitz.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of like swayed me a little bit.
I
Maybe a
might just
little.
have a gap in my knowledge about Austria, honestly.
Yeah, from that squad, I can tell you from that starting 11, there was 3 Serie A players and 5 Bundesliga players in that starting 11. Whereas
Yeah.
the Poland squad, I knew pretty much every one of them Austrian players. With the Poland one, I didn't really know them all, so that's kind of what I'm grasping at here.
Yeah.
If you don't know players, you don't know, like
Yeah.
kind of thing, like you're saying as well. So
This is
yeah.
vice versa.
So
Yeah.
saying that, shall we move on to what we think the group is going to be? Like what we pretty much touched on it, but I think that France will top the group. Netherlands will be second. I think it may be a 7-pointer. Netherlands and France draw with each other, so it could go either way for me. It might be a bit outlandish saying that because how good we're saying the French squad is, but what we touched on, how far they can go. So I'm going to put France first, Netherlands second, and I'm going to go with Austria third and Poland fourth. Sparks, you, brother? I'm going to pause.
Yeah, I think France first, Netherlands second. Though that can be either way around. It obviously depends on the form guide, obviously. And I would say Poland and then Austria.
Yep. What are you saying, Super Kev?
Yeah, I agree. France top, Netherlands second, Poland third, Austria fourth. However, I do believe that if France and Netherlands both finish on 7 points, I believe Netherlands are winning the group on goal difference because they are scoring a lot at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I said that either way around, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can go either way. That's the thing is with this tournament, it can literally. That's the thing with the Euros. Every single team are good sides. They're very, very good sides. So you're looking at teams there where like we're talking about teams like 23rd and 25th. They're right like next to each other, neck and neck. Whereas England, we're ranked 4th, and Netherlands are ranked 7th. But like you could see us. It can happen to anyone. The French could go and play against Austria and draw because anything can happen. That's the best thing. This is why people. This is really, really outlandish to say this, but I think the Euro tournament is actually better than the World Cup, in my opinion. And I think it's a bit out there saying it, but I just think that the European teams, they're a lot tighter and a lot closer together. Whereas when you come to the World Cup, you're playing against like New Zealand, Austria, you're playing against Saudi Arabia, you're playing like teams like that. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Where European teams are really, really like, you get a lot better games kind of thing in the group stage. But then obviously later on in the knockout rounds, that's when the World Cup's better. But I think the group stages of the Euros is better than the group stages of the World Cup, where you can sit there and watch games and you're not going to be bored because both teams are absolutely evenly matched. Well, like the Euros, just say that probably the least ranked team would probably be about 29th, 30th, Albania.
Right, yeah.
Whereas when you go to the World Cup, you can get teams that are ranked 70th or 80th. Do you kind of get what I'm saying, Sparks?
To a degree, yeah. But I mean, the kind of World Cup stands up on its own merit, doesn't it? At the end of the day, that I don't really think there is a boring game because it is the World Cup. So it kind of stands before it because everybody's had to do the qualification process to get there, obviously, apart from host nations. And I think it I kind of get what you're saying, but I also think that teams being so close and so tight together can make it boring as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you cancel each other out and stuff, and some teams just decide they're going to play cagey, but the other team that playing against them want to play cagey as well. And as much as you get that in a World Cup, that there's always a stage where somebody just goes gung ho, and then the other team has to follow suit, and you just end up with some kind of end to end, and the quality kind of normally wins through in the end. So for me, I think the merit, but I think it's probably just the merit of the tournament than anything else. Kind of comes through a bit more on the World Cup than it does the Euros.
Like I said, I don't think it's the knockout stage. I think it's the group stage that I find more thrilling.
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah.
I just my opinion is that the World Cup surpasses it just because it's a World Cup.
Yeah, I get you. Because there's so much hype and you get so excited. Like the Euros, I'm a little bit excited, but like when the World Cup's on, I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing about it.
It's like when you're if you're in Africa, right?
Yeah.
And you're watching the Africa Cup of Nations, right? It's just that it's their kind of pinnacle tournament.
Yeah.
Without World Cup, but I'd still place that underneath the Euros because of the sides that are in it.
Yeah.
You know, so and I don't see them every day either. So it's because it kind of ranks in order of merit, if you like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I completely understand.
I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but it's in terms of hype in Europe anyway, I would put the African Cup of Nations as the lowest.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Then I'd put the Euros as next, and then I put the World Cup as next. It's just
and then the Asian Cup as bottom. Definitely. I don't think I've ever watched the Asian Cup.
Does it even exist? I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
If I lived in Asia, it might exist, but it doesn't really exist.
I lived in Australia, didn't I? So I watched a bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of games of it, to be honest, but for me, that's just a game of football.
Yeah, it's like the Asian Champions League. I used to, you know how your season ticket at obviously Arsenal, which I wish I was. I was a season ticket holder at Melbourne Victory for 3 years.
Oh right,
for 3 years. And then back then it was like you had Archie Thompson, who was the main player, and then we had Alessandro Del Piero playing there as well.
Yeah,
Del Piero played for Melbourne Victory as well. So, but then they played over in the Asian Champions League and that.
Yeah, I mean that's not limiting the actual players that play in that, because
of course
there obviously are some quality players, but as a European football fan, that's just the way I rank.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Tournament,
as well, yeah.
That's all it is, really.
Yeah, touching on that, what do you think, mate? Are you kind of with the Euros? Do you enjoy? I know it's a bit of a mad question, to be honest, but do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think the World Cup just being the World Cup tops it, and you have that excitement when you've got teams like Japan and Korea, you know, like playing. But I kind of get what you're saying with the group stage being more competitive and closer.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be absolutely blown out of my mind if Austria went and beat France, you know, or if Hungary went.
I think I know what I'm getting. You know what I think I'm trying to get at, Kev? I think it's if you put these games in. And then you just took out whoever they are. You didn't say they were France, Austria, or anything. You didn't know it was a World Cup. You didn't know it was a Euros. I think a lot more competitive games are the Euros.
Yeah, I think you know what it is. As a fan, it's exciting a lot of time when you get goals and stuff. And I think with some of these games being so competitive, sometimes they are a bit slow and they can seem almost boring to watch because you know teams are defending and you know, some people just like to see goals and. So I guess for some people, when it's a bit competitive, it can, you know, and goal difference changes things as well. So if teams aren't scoring, you know, it affects the groups. But I get what you mean in a competitive sort of value. Yeah, probably it's a bit closer because in the World Cup, you do get teams that will qualify that aren't necessarily near the top team's level and they get stuck in a group together and you kind of know what's going to happen from the start. I think we have an idea. So with this group, it's got to be France and Netherlands first and second. Whereas, but it's a bit more competitive. I think in the World Cup, you can kind of guarantee the top two more when you get some of the teams that are in there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because sometimes you would have, just say, for example, you could get England, just say England, Costa Rica, Japan, and then you end up with like Iran. Do you kind of, even though Iran are actually ranked 20th in the world at the moment.
Yeah,
I just looked on there. Iran are ranked 20th, but do you kind of get what I'm saying? Like a team like that kind of thing.
but it's like when Hungary made it out of the group, right? And Hungary in the Euros, so that shows that competitive. Sort of,
But we'll see it with this Euros now how Hungary do, because they're actually a better team now than they were at that World Cup, because they've obviously progressed through the World Cup and come over to this Euros now. So so you, just to finish on what you thought the because me and Sparks have said where we think teams would finish in the group. So you said France and Netherlands.
Then Poland. I think Austria will be bottom. Like I say, if Netherlands and France are joint points, I think Netherlands will go through a goal difference because they're scoring a lot at the minute. But ultimately, I see France top in the group.
Right. Okay. Then I'm going to ask you. I think it's a pretty obvious one. Who would be the top goals? Who take away Mbappe? Who's the player to watch from this group? That's the question I'm going to ask. Sparks, what do you think?
I'm going to go crazy one. I'm going to go, well, not crazy, but probably a bit off the cuff. Depay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he come into a little bit of form, and he could do well.
Yeah. Kev.
Mine would be Depay, but as you've said, Depay, I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised if Giroud gets a few goals. And even, a lot of people kind of think he's getting a bit older now. We've seen him for years and write him off, but I think he'll get a few goals this tournament. I think he'll play really well.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck between Ousmane Dembele and Xavi Simons. I don't know if I've pulled Xavi Simons up, but I think he'll have a great tournament. Actually, I'm going to go Xavi Simons. That's good. That's my player who to watch for the for this group stage. Yeah, right. Are we finished now? I think that's we've put
just quickly actually because it was mentioned there that the Giroud I think is still one of the most underrated players ever to walk through the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I wish we didn't have to get rid of him to get Aubameyang, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think with us with Giroud, we got the bad Giroud. I think, to be honest. Do you remember against Monaco and stuff like that? I've just got bad memories of him there. That Monaco game where he missed about 10 sitters.
You mean where maybe he wasn't just in his best form, sort of thing?
Yeah, I think that Chelsea got him in his best form, and then I think further on he got in his best form afterwards.
No, I disagree. He scored plenty of goals for Arsenal.
Yeah,
and he was
scored about 16
underrated.
a season for us, weren't he?
Which he did on his own, by the way. There was no support for him. There was no backup for him. There was no different alternative. He was plan A, B, C, D, and everything. So
Yeah, I think I back it completely.
He scores these cute little goals, that look really good. But he's also just really good with the ball at his feet, and he's good in the air. He's quite physical.
I'm going to put this out there. He's the best striker I've seen in the air ever play for Arsenal.
Yeah, and I think it's because nowadays a lot of people are quick and fast, and because he's not the quickest, most dribbling sort of player that isn't running rings around people. I think a lot of people don't give him his flowers, and I think he's quality.
What were you going to?
His first touch is underrated as well.
Yeah, but what I wouldn't do. I know he went on to have quite a good career. I think because he left so Aubameyang could come in.
Yeah, no, he did. But that's what I'm saying.
He did that little circle thing, weren't it? Where it went from Chelsea. It was at Morata. They had like a circle where they were like that, and then Aubameyang ended up coming to us. So Giroud went there, Morata went over, and then it was something.
Yeah, like unless he went, we weren't getting Aubameyang. But
yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But I think, in my opinion, after Thierry Henry, I know this sounds madness, but Aubameyang's our best striker since. But I think when them 2 seasons, Sparks, when he was in form, like he was top goal scorer alongside Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, even he was top goal scorer the year after.
For sure. I mean, obviously that's that's what he did. But I mean, Yeah,
a bit of a shame, ain't
it
it?
stuck with me that we had to get rid of Giroud to make that happen.
Yeah, because it would have been nice to have him and Aubameyang. It would have been lovely.
But we couldn't do that because we didn't have the funds to do it. We didn't have
No,
the criteria to do it. And
I think I lost
apart,
respect for when he started celebrating and when they beat us in the Euro. You know, remember they beat us in the that Europa League, that horrible final, and when he was celebrating in the coat
oh,
jacket,
come on, man!
he was thinking
You know,
Arsenal
they're
fans.
footballers. So who cares? You know,
Yeah,
who cares? You know, at the end of the day, and I think he had every right to be pissed off.
yeah.
I
'Cause we
think
got rid
I
of him.
think he had every right to be upset
Yeah,
because he didn't want to go. He
no.
was kind of forced to go.
Imagine showing your kids, like I'll show my kids, yeah, when they're on and go, look at this compilation of these goals of this player. He was the best player ever. They'd completely agree with it, wouldn't they? Looking at his compilation of goals.
Yeah,
Jesus. Like the man with his head, he won everything. Everything. Like,
yeah,
you put the ball on his head, you could put it 50 meters away and he'd be there heading the ball. Like that was the good thing about Giroud for me.
And this is someone
yeah.
you need when you're playing, Netherlands, and you've got someone big like Van Dijk who's up in the air and winning things.
Yeah.
That's the sort of person that you need that can challenge balls or be in the box.
Do you know why I'm a bit salty and I've got a bit of a sour taste in my mouth about Giroud? It's not his fault. It was Wenger's fault that he didn't bring in someone else in that time. That Leicester season when Leicester won the league and we were top for 80% of the season. And we had Giroud up top that season with the likes of Danny Welbeck behind him. And we had Ozil, we had Alexis Sanchez, and Giroud scored like 16 goals. And then we needed that striker, and we would have won the league that season. Do you kind of get what I'm grasping at here, Sparks? That's the kind of
Yeah, but that's not Giroud's fault.
he missed a lot of clangers that season, man. So many. That Monaco game, I remember it. He was awful, awful.
Yeah, but strikers have bad games.
I know, but I remember.
The thing is that if it's the club's responsibility to have an option on the bench for when he has that game, and he didn't have an option.
No, he didn't. I
So
think he was decent for us, but I think Aubameyang was a lot better for us than what Giroud was.
timing. That's all that is timing.
You think? Yeah, obviously
Yeah.
you had a season ticket. You probably know better than me.
Yeah, literally that's all it was is timing. And you imagine having Aubameyang and Giroud.
Yeah, it would have been awesome, mate. It would have been awesome.
That's what you want, isn't it?
They could have played off each other as well. Giroud nodding the ball onto Aubameyang.
Yeah, because you know somebody a bit more technically gifted and somebody a bit more physical.
Yeah,
That's what
I think that Aubameyang was extremely underrated for Arsenal. At one point, he was the best goal scorer in the league for 3 seasons running.
Well, people try to forget it purely because of his attitude. That's the thing.
Yeah, he was awesome for us. Up to signing that contract, when he signed the contract, Sparks, yeah, he went and signed that contract. We were begging him because he was our best player by far. He was carrying.
Yeah, but he knew that at that point. He knew that, and he was like, "Well,
yeah,
there you go, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've done."
But there we have it. Spark said Giroud's very, very one of the most underrated players. I agree, but I completely agree. Like I've said, Kev's agreed as well. So is that everything we can touch on from that group?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah. Are you happy to come on tomorrow for the next group?
Yeah.
Kev.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, just give me a shout. Just let me know.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that I do think the way I picture it is France and England making it to the semis, and I think the winner of that game takes the tournament. Personally,
Yeah,
well, the ones I've done, France don't face England in the semis.
Right. Okay.
I'll send you a link later on, bro. You can go on.
Why don't we do that tomorrow?
Yeah.
We can do the Telegraph thing.
Why don't we do the road to the final tomorrow?
Yeah.
We'll do the road to the final tomorrow, and then the day after, 100%. So we just got.
And then we can finish off the groups in one long stream, and then it's the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll do a road so we can get it on the Telegraph, people. Just to let you know, if you go on the Telegraph, they give you choose the teams, and it does it all the formats for you, and it puts you through, and it does it all that way.
I don't give away the secrets until tomorrow. Secrets of tomorrow.
It's like the Telegraph. I found it off someone else.
Not everybody's seen the Telegraph. There's 45 people in here, and none of them might have seen it. They might not come back.
Yeah.
They're too busy watching the best YouTuber ever.
Mate, they're here for the YouTube celebrity anyway. They're here for the best YouTuber anyway. So it don't make a difference what I say about the Telegraph and that. They're here for your boy.
I mean,
I'm here just for Sparks, whereas other people are here for the best YouTuber around. It's not me, it's Kev.
I'm here for the best YouTuber around. You know, fairness.
Kev's my new favourite YouTuber.
I'm not even a YouTuber, but yeah, okay. I just enjoy the podcast. They're good fun. It's a good
You
talk.
are a
Technically, you
YouTuber.
are.
You've got
But,
some songs. Do an intro for us.
An intro, okay. I'll make one.
Make
I'll
an intro
pull.
for me.
Okay. Okay.
Because he's a musician, ain't he, Sparks? That's what I'm saying. It.
oh yeah, a jingle. You can do it as a jingle.
A little jingle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll do
Jingle,
some
jangle,
waving
jingle,
or whatever.
jangle.
Come by,
Can't do that anymore.
Anyways, people. Anyways, it's getting a bit silly now.
Yeah, we're going too far now.
Yeah.
On that, you know what, Sparks?
We're
How
going to
can
get
we finish?
cancelled.
How can we finish? The club mascot hasn't come on today.
Oh,
I ain't having
yeah, I'm not getting him. He's asleep.
Is he asleep? This
Yeah,
is
asleep.
This is a disgrace here. That's what this is.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not getting him.
Mikel Arteta. I'm gonna if I edit this video afterwards, I'm gonna put that in. I'm just gonna edit the video just for that one moment. I'm put Arteta up here saying this is a disgrace.
La disgracia.
Yeah, cue Mikel Arteta exactly where my. Anyways,
Nice.
boys, it's been lovely
Right.
having you both on per usual. Free punch combination, people. You all know what to do. Subscribe, like, and comment. Put your plugs out there. Sparks, what's your plugs?
Yeah, I'm Sparks TV. That's Twitter and TikTok. And the YouTube is We're the North Bank.
Yep, and Kev, Super Kev.
Super Kev. Yeah, my TikTok's just Kevin EFF _ Might have seen it at the bottom of this camera. It depends because of the graphics. But yeah, there we go.
There we go. So let's read it out. I'll read it out for people. Mine is Jaymie Waffles Footy, JAYMIE, and it is TikTok J Gunner. We've got Sparks _TV, so that is at SPARXS _TV, and we've got We're the North Bank for YouTube, which is WE hyphen. It's not hyphen. That's an
No
apostrophe.
hyphen.
Is that an apostrophe?
No, I
Yeah.
need to take that out. It's not there.
We're the North Bank. We're the North Bank. Well,
It's
you'll
actually
find it.
We're the North Bank because you can't have We're.
So
sense.
when you click, if you're watching this video on my channel anyway, I will have him tagged literally in the description, in the title anyway. So you can just click his name and it will take you straight over to Sparks' channel anyway. And then we've got TikTok, Kevin EFF _. There we have it, people. Everyone, thank you for joining in. Thank you to the guests. Have a lovely day and stay blessed. We'll see you all in the next one tomorrow.